we're going to have that guy now going to the pole storage, grabbing himself 6 poles, which is his max carrying capacity, and just running around and adding those. And that's going to be our first bot-built crate right there. Alright everybody, hello and welcome back to another episode on Autonauts with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our beautiful little world. In the last episode, we actually got our bots going up here, slowly but surely working away at getting us a wheat field going, so that we can hopefully then, in the near future, actually get going on farming some wheat, getting some straw out of it, getting some cereal, which we can make into food for our colonists right here, and most crucially, being able to use the straw to actually go and build us a ton of log cabins. So, that is very much the idea right there, and we are very much going to continue with that one today as well. But apart from that side, we also have had some very, very, very useful comments coming in from Tyler Peterson, so thank you very much for that, mate. Not aligning, but letting me know of some ideas how we can hopefully maybe improve some things in our world, such as, which is one of the main points for me, honestly, setting up a little 8x8 plot somewhere where we just plonk down blueprints, then setting up a ton of bots that just kind of take set material and throw that at any blueprint they can find in that area, and then just tearing the things down and carrying them around with us to our liking. So we could make crates like that, we could make houses like that, we could make any of these boxes here like that, we could make absolutely anything we want just by having such a setup going. So I'm really, really, really liking that idea, and we may already also get started on that today. As you know, I mean, we do need to get a lot of log cabins going, and that's going to be one heck of a job to actually build them with like 3 different building steps and a ton of materials involved. So actually having something of that sort would be very, very nice indeed. So I would love to do that. Let's see when we get to it, but that is definitely on the list. And there's also been some other useful tips in that one, which we're definitely going to look at when we get to it, but for the time being, that's definitely my main takeaway from that. What is this again? Oh right, evolution of my colonists. Okay, so we're going to work on this stuff here first though, but before we get going on this very task, if you're new around here, and if you do happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to smash that subscribe button right down below. That would mean the absolute world to me. We're getting closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers, and every single person just truly helps out a ton, so thank you so much if you did that. And with that out of the way, let us go. And first things first, get a bot going that can give this little guy his hoe back whenever it explodes. I mean, we've got an abundance of bots here, so I'm just going to go grab myself one of these lads, and I'm going to go and set him to record, and we're going to go and grab a hoe from here, so he sees where to get it from, and honestly speaking, he doesn't technically need to do the same thing. I'm thinking he may have space for 2 of these. I'm not really sure if you can take more than one tool, but we're just going to put a repeat until hands full here for a second, and we're going to see. Maybe he takes 2. Would be great, because that way he doesn't have to run back and forth as much, but, you know, if not, then he's got so much space in his little brain that doesn't really matter in the end anyway. So, we're going to go and give that little guy right there his hoe, and you know, he'll continue working happily ever after. We're going to go and define the search area more as like this one right here, which is about where I guess we will expect the bots to be, and we will kind of just put a repeat until hands are empty right here, just in case he does actually manage to grab more than one tool, which I'm doubting a bit at this point, but we'll see. And then we repeat the entire thing forever, and that's your job. Go, little guy. Now, let's kind of see. Where is he at? Here. Let's go and observe him for a quick second and just see. Oh, I actually forgot about one thing with this programming. Okay, he is only able to grab one of these, but I did forget about something with this programming. So, we got to go and define a move to for him, so that he doesn't wait like down there with the craters, but he grabs the tool, he moves up there, and then waits till somebody actually needs a tool. Then he goes over to actually give it to him, and then, you know, we'll actually define the move to us this one, though. So, that's a little more in the middle, I guess, of things. So, these repeats, I guess we can get rid of them. So, you'll move to, take from, move to here, wait for somebody to need it, find a bot with no tool, give them the tool, and get back to actually grabbing one. That is good. That is fine. We can keep it like that, and I will have to snatch that hoe from you. As well, I mean, you're going to start back at the start, so your hands can't be really full, otherwise it is going to be blocked on his side. Cool. Now this little guy right here also needs a crude space, so we're going to go give him that very one, so you can continue. We will need to... Wait. The heck are you doing now? Was this a hole that already existed, or is he newly digging that one out? No, that already existed. God, I really thought... Okay, never mind. We're good. So, he can continue doing this. I'm kind of considering to trim down the area in which we're farming a bit, though, given how quickly the cereal grew. So, let me go and do that for a quick second. And we're going to go and define the area more as like this. I think that's totally fine, and then we can use this area up here for cotton eventually, I guess, and just move it on from here, because that way, you know, we've got things nice and structured, and it makes a whole lot more sense to me. That said, you know, you could probably hoe both areas regardless, but, you know, at the end of the day, doesn't make that big a difference. Probably not. We can just have a second bot doing the same thing, and, you know, have things running a bit faster, especially with the abundance of bots that we now have. I mean, I've heard from a lot of you in the comments that, you know, generally it's you can just spam these bots out, and it's kind of the best approach you can take, because honestly, you know, that we're just getting so many of them. It's automated. We've got a lot of things. We've got materials in abundance, so it just feels like the way to go. That said, this little guy right here is done getting rid of all the yeah, all the holes, not all the hoes. That would be weird, because those we actually need to ho the floor. But what would be interesting then would be, I guess, to go and, well, oopsie. Get him to record and just do the same thing with the turf in that area, because we do want to, of course, get rid of the turf in this little area right here. Also, maybe... The thing is, we've got these holes down here too, which I would like to either fill in with turf or actually also use for farming purposes, so I'm not quite sure about that part just yet. But let us, for the time being, do the turf thing. And, then we can focus back on the... Oh, well, the thingy... Oh, whoa, no, whoa, stop it! Jesus Christ. Then we can move back to the rest when we get to it. So, in terms of the turf, now, one thing that I'm actually not quite clear on just yet, maybe we leave this strip of turf and we already start the cotton field right there. So I'm thinking we'll only remove this turf right here. And we'll just get him going on that, set him to play, give him the spade again, and he can go and get this stuff dug up for us, and we just have to kind of move that turf aside on our own, but that's totally fine. So then this little guy can continue doing his hoeing stuff when he gets a new one. There he goes. Whee! And this guy can go grab a new one. That works beautifully, so that's very nice at the very least. Now, what I do think we will need is going to be another spade for that other little guy. And yes, you know, we're not automatically carrying over the spades, but honestly, there's really no use in that, because, you know, this whole digging up process will eventually kind of stop anyways, and I'll assign that bot that's doing it currently to something else, so, you know, don't really have to worry about that currently. I'm feeling that we may just use this for wheat as well, and we'll just get rid of the holes. And, actually, yeah, it does feel like we can move through this at full speed, right? Looking at that. Let's just actually check that out. So, I mean, cotton feels like it's minimally maybe slowing us down, but I do want to kind of just quickly check out with the wheat field right there. Yeah, I mean, really, that's not a big impact, so it doesn't matter really if we plant the cotton quite close to each other. Just want to check it's the same here. Yeah, totally fine. So, as opposed to the berry bushes, I guess we don't really have to spread them that badly. And we can kind of just work like that, and it should hopefully be fine. That said, in terms of actual yields when harvesting, it may not be fine. Oh no! Stop. Because the thing that I'm actually kind of worried about is that we run into this situation again where we whack, or where we go and scythe these bushes, and then, in the end, it turns out that all the cereal is just disappearing into the abyss. So I guess we're going back to the job, and we are actually just kind of filling the whole thing in with turf again, that our Autobot is so happily hoeing up right now, because, you know, in the end, that doesn't work out for us, unfortunately. Are we gaining more turf from this than there was actually in the ground previously? I guess so. Can't really fill that one in until he moves. Okay. Let me go and grab this little guy. And, snatch his shovel. We're going to record and we're going to tell him to get rid of the holes again. Because we're going to get rid of these holes, then we're going to have 2 rows, basically, of wheat. And then we can start with cotton as the next crop and just do 2 rows of that too. And then we kind of just have a similar thing set up for everything, basically. I think that makes a whole lot more sense. So, find nearest hole. I would like you to find all these holes right here. And you can take care of that. Cool. Get going. Thank you very much. Now. Oh yeah, sorry. Didn't give you your shovel back. There you go, buddy. And, well, for him, the area of work actually we've perfectly defined, so that's all going nicely and beautifully as well. I would love to just do, like, 1 consecutive field of cereal or, well, wheat, but I do have the unfortunate feeling that that is, in the end, not going to work out for us quite, so just going to keep it like that for the time being. You get your spade, you continue working, and that'll all go through, and that's all going to be beautiful. So, with that said then, what we could do is maybe we just go to Tyler's little quick recommendation and do this little area of work where things get plunked together for us. I like the idea overall. The question is, where are we going to do that? I'm feeling maybe right here and we just move some things around, or maybe even right here and we move some benches to the left. Let's do that. Let's go to our move tool. And, ooh, well, the flooring stuff is a bit annoying. I guess we could just move that over bit by bit. And we just do our personal work benches more like over there, I guess, and we do kind of just put down this stuff. Why do you always take the floor with you and then the last time I move it, it just stays there? Yeah. I feel trolled. But we just move this stuff a bit to the side here, which gives us space then to work with right here. I would actually love to move this thing to, like, right there, maybe. We've got some random bit of cereal flying around there. We also technically... Let's go and move this one too. Don't have any flooring under that one yet, which is fine-ish, I guess, for now. And this guy right here is actually out of power, and nobody's taking care of him. Poor little guy. Cool, so, we've got a little area here now that we can define for just building in general, I guess. So, we're going to just get started on that, and what I want to start doing, basically, is just crates, right? And then we can go and pick them up and plunk them down to our liking, basically. And we can maybe do the same thing with pallets. I'm not quite sure we need that many currently, actually. I mean, generally speaking, all the stuff up there is probably going to just go through crates. So I think we may just leave it at this for the time being. But that's already 2 bots that we can employ on this thing right here. And, you know, just slowly but surely get, like, buildings and stuff mass-produced for us. I mean, then we can kind of continue with these log cabins, which then I just don't set the blueprints up right here, but I set them up down there. Let the bots do their thing based on the materials we have, and then I just eventually go to pick them up, like, with the delete button. We have them in our inventory, we plunk them down to our liking, and we're done. So, honestly, really great to know that it works that way. Thank you so much for that, mate. We are going to go and tell the bot to come with us. And then we go and record, and we tell him to move to plank storage, take from plank storage just until your hands are full, right? Basically just that. And then you find the nearest blueprint in an area. Now the area that we define is going to be about this one right here, I think. It's like a 9x11 area. I guess we could just make it that, 9x9. Looks good to me. And in this little area, you're going to find any blueprint you can find. You move to blueprint and you add to blueprint. And you repeat the entire thing until your hands are empty. Only then do you go back. And then you repeat the entire process. Forever. That's that. And now, as you can see, he fills up his hands. He goes around, finds a crate, is like, oh yeah, that one needs another one, needs another one, needs another one. And it's like, oh, well, no, that one's good. And then he moves on to the next one, adds materials until his hands are empty, and he moves on to the next one. And he just makes these crates for us. It's been such a slow and tedious process for me every single time. And now we've just got a builder bot that does it all for us. Oh, it's so good. The amount of things you can actually do with these little guys is so, so good if you could just imagine how to do it. So thanks so much for the input. Appreciate it a ton. It certainly helps out. You know, I mean, it's great. Basically, I mean, what you guys have really taught me now is that you can pretty much do everything that you can do as a player also with bots. It's just like a thing of actually making up how to do it, right? And if you get a good idea, you can get it all going. So I'm loving that. And we're going to do the same thing now with this other little guy. So you're going to just take from pull storage until your hands are full. Boom. Then you're going to go search for a blueprint in a little 9x9 area, which I think we had to find somewhat like this. Yes, indeed. And you repeat that thing until your hands are empty. And you're good to go. Now, having this whole thing basically going every single time, of course, slows them down a bit, because they have to think about every single time finding the blueprint, moving to blueprint, adding to blueprint. But, you know, at the end of the day, they do have to gauge just how much space there is still in the blueprints for them to put materials in. So anything else wouldn't really be that useful, and to be honest, I mean, it's not really like we're pressed for time there. You know, they can just happily slowly build away, and I just go around every now and again and grab all the stuff that we need, and we're good. And we can kind of already pre-provision whatever we need, right? We could just build like 10 crates right now, carry them around with us, be happy ever after. And absolutely loving that. So like this, we're going to have that guy now going to the pull storage, grabbing himself 6 pulls, which is his max carrying capacity, and just running around and adding those. And that's going to be our first bot-built crate right there. Look at this. Our first bot-made, like 100% bot-made construct. It's insane. We've got building bots now. We've literally got bots building things for us. I'm loving this. Absolutely loving it. And we're going to continue like this. I'm going to just slap down some more crates right here. And ask them to make some more for us. So this is 8. I'm going to ask them to make 9 for the time being, because I've already got in mind. Actually, we can probably ask them to make 12, because I've already got in mind a lot of work, well, a lot of crates needed for this whole farming thing. So we can now just have them do this stuff for us, a lot faster as well, may I say, without any troubles for us, and just grab the stuff and move on and use it. And we're going to be able to do that with every other building. We just kind of need to expand what materials the bots carry, right? We add straw for these, we add logs for other stuff, we add, you know, square frames for other stuff. Whatever we need, we can make it like that. So, absolutely beautiful. Very, very happy with that indeed. And now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to this little demolish button right here. And we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and now we've got 6 crates in that inventory. Where are they at? There. Beautiful. And now we just go around up here and kind of just carry with us whatever we need. And just work like that. I am absolutely loving this stuff. Because now what we can also do, just kind of move the turf aside for a quick second. In fact, we could probably go and define already a new area of working for this little guy right here. Because he can technically make sure... No, not this little... Wait. Ah, they are both standing in the same spot. So, this little guy right here, we can just now ask to stop. We can tell him to come to us. And we're going to go snatch his little shovel. And we're going to ask him to just dig up some turf here. And, you know, he's going to go and get us the fields already going for the cotton. And when we get to actually being able to grab the seeds from the cotton, we can get a cotton farm going up here already. So that is beautiful. So... You know, it would be useful if we were actually recording. That would be quite useful indeed. And then we can go and move all this up. We can go and define a new area. We're just going to do this row for the time being, because we're literally going to do the same setup for this farm up here as we have here for the wheat farm, right? So 2 rows of this, and then another 2 rows of that, and yeah, we're happy. So, just do that. Just get going. You're going to get the shovel from me, technically, if I can give it to you. And, you know, there we go. Happy ever after. I'm loving this. Honestly, it's going so well. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. Now, the other thing that I think I also have on my list is to actually improve these little guys down here that are collecting all the corner stuff, because you can actually see it piling up, and they're really not quite... Oopsie, no. Just leave the shovel there. And they're really not quite keeping up, so we probably need to get an upgrade going there soon. But that's not the priority for today. What is the priority for the time being is to actually get a little setup going out here in terms of crates to actually store all this stuff. So, at the end of the day, I think the way that we have to do it, we're going to have a bot going through here with a scythe to hoe apart, no, not to hoe apart, to go and scythe apart all of the cereal that has grown. Then the cereal will drop, like right here, basically, and we have a guy with a little flail going around and threshing everything. And then, when everything's being threshed, we'll have a bot picking up the cereal. Planting, well, yeah, so that's the question, right? So, I mean, all the straw goes into the crates first. So, I mean, we can already set up kind of 3 crates for the straw. Just do that here. So, this will be for the straw. Then we can also set up crates for the cereal. But only half of what we harvest at the end of the day can be used. So, this is important. We can probably have a bot go around, pick up the cereal until his hands are full, which means 6, and then we can have him plant 3 times the cereal before he puts the rest into the crate. I think something along those lines we will have to make up. And that's it. That's the bottom line idea. That's pretty much everything that there is to it. And we can maybe go around and already plant a first few of these ourselves. And the question actually also being here, how much we get out of one of these cereal crops if they've kind of grown like that. It says yield of 4. So if we get a yield of 4, actually, we may... I don't know. Wait, how do I... Do we already water something here now? Yes, okay. So we just go water these ourselves real quick. This is another topic that we actually need to have a bot for. Did I not properly pick this up now? Maybe we do this real quick while we have this going. Hopefully before this grows. Let's get that going real quick so we have a bot watering things. So, you, little guy, come here with me. Record. You will go. Find nearest fresh water, move to water, boom. And then, quickly... Oh yeah, right, that's already watered. Water this. Boom. Don't have to wait. But that's that. And then, but how do I tell him to... I don't quite know, like, he should just have a little... Let me try that again. Because he needs to find a cereal crop. Oh, there we go. So this, like, was weird. Okay, and then that's that. And then, basically, so you find the nearest freshwater, move to freshwater, use item held. Don't wait. Don't do this. You find the nearest cereal crop in a specific area of operations, which is going to be this one right here. This is where the cereal crops are going to be. Find the nearest cereal crop, move to cereal crop, add to cereal crop. That's that. Repeat. Nothing else you need. You can get going. And you probably need a bucket. There you go. And then, technically, you should be watering this plant right there. I hope. Yup. Beautiful. And that's that. Now, on this task, I'm honestly not quite sure. I do feel that we may need multiple bots for this, just due to how long it takes to pick up the water and to actually water plants, as opposed to how quickly it is possible to actually get all this stuff in line, right? Now, the other thing is, I actually would like to program move to into the middle right here as well. So after he gets the bucket, he just moves to the middle right there, then he finds a close cereal crop, so he doesn't just stand over there in the water. He's already there in the middle, so the second something gets planted, he can water it. I'll just kind of up his efficiency in my mind. That said, kind of need to go and grab that bucket here now. I'm not sure he can now pick up water like this. He may be stuck now. We have to probably fix that part. But we can, because I do have one more cereal seed down there. Glorious. Absolutely beautiful. There comes the saving grace right there. Otherwise, he would be a bit stuck now for a while. So let's do that and take care of this before we forget. Right, I'm just going to go and snatch that bucket from him. Water that plant, which now it's watered. Give him the bucket back, and then he will actually move to fill up the bucket. Because, you know, before it was already filled, so that would have been a bit of a deadlock for him. And that's that. And then this little guy right here does need a new shovel, so we can give him that, and he can continue happily ever after as well. Beautiful. And now he's standing around there in the middle of the thing, waiting to water something. So, very, very happy with that as well. You can see all these crates down here ready for our happy usage. So, we are going to do that and use them. And we are, in the next episode, going to come back to actually get a bot going to harvest all the cereal crop. We're going to get a bot going to thresh all the cereal crop. Going to get one to plant and to move the straw into the storage right here and to move the cereal into the storage right there. And then we've got a proper cycle going. Oh, and we also, of course, need some bots for the tools. So one for the bucket, one for the scythe, one for the flail, and then we're good to go. Lots of bots to set up, but should all be quite nice and quick, honestly, now, with the added benefit of the automated bot assembly. So hopefully we're going to manage to do all that and a bit more in the next episode, and also, you know, maybe go and finally upgrade these little guys down there, because honestly, they are just too slow. So, lots of plans there for the next few episodes, or at least the next one for the time being. Very much looking forward to that. For today, though, we're going to end it off right here. I hope you all very much enjoyed the episode and enjoyed the progress made. I certainly did. If you did, make sure to smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm. And if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with all that out of the way then, as usual, everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.